So how did your career progress from there? So you started in the, large window, manufacturing business, and then what happened?
Yeah, so that was 96, and I started at that manufacturing facility. Again, final replacement windows. We did doors, some other products related. By about 99 into 2000, I was still searching for who I wanted to be, what I wanted to do. While I enjoyed that business and I enjoyed working with my uncle and the friends that I had had there, I still had an itch to do something else. I really honestly didn't know what. So I began to apply to different MBA programs, and that was going to be my next step. I got the GMAT done. I got the letters of recommendation done, et cetera, et cetera. I also thought I would leave the area. So I was looking at MBA programs at different universities in different places of the country. Again, just trying to search for who the heck I wanted to be. I tendered my resignation to the company and had that long conversation with my uncle, who was ultimately my boss at that business. It was emotional to do that, but he was happy for me and I was going to figure it out. So in true fashion, I gave myself 6 months between that time and when I needed to really decide where I was going to go to school for the graduate degree. During that time, my uncle and four other people from that business had been planning. Some things happened to really push them over the edge, and they decided they wanted to leave that business and start their own. So I was, I think, lucky enough to get a call about that business, and a conversation got started, and I ended up getting drafted in the wings of some really talented guys into a startup called Vista Window Company. That was April of 2001. We started that business out of about 47,000 square feet right here in Warren, Ohio. That really started, in hindsight, of course, my MBA on steroids right there.
So you transitioned into more of a business role. Was that fair to say, operating the new startup at that point?
Yeah, the need was more from an administrative standpoint than it was from a design or testing or engineering. I was actually doing IT at that time at my first company, but that was so early in the days of the internet and whatnot that the reason I became the IT director there was just because I was one of the few who was comfortable with the technology and could learn it quickly, had some exposure through university and knew what email was. I was accessing the internet. Then I got into networking, but all those kind of technical aspects of the first job, when I got to Vista, they were handy because everybody had to be all hands on deck, no doubt. It's a pure startup, but administration was more the need. Sales support, HR, people in the office, rules and procedures, lockout, tag out on the floor, you name it. Anything that we needed to have done.
It's interesting if you think about that time, startups were all the rage. And unfortunately, late in 2001 was the dot-com bust and the startup crash. Here you are starting up a manufacturing business, very unlike all the other startups that we knew and we know of friends of ours were in. So pretty fascinating at the time.